everybody. All right, let's say a prayer and then we'll get we'll get going after I All right, so take a big deep breath. Let's center ourselves. Dear Mother, Father God, divine source, universe, all that is. We come together today with open hearts, open minds, and an open spirit. We allow today to be a time of love and support and guidance for everyone here. And we ask that as we share and relate today, that we are brought closer to our flow, closer to our peace, and closer to God. We take a big deep breath. And together we say, thank you very much. And so it is. Amen. Okay, great. Good to have you here, everyone. Okay, so tonight we are going to talk about changes and how you deal with changes. But we're not just going to talk about it because there's a lot of things that we could talk about, right? There's a lot of things we could do and talking about changes. Obviously, as you know, a lot of you will know, is that I'm going through a big change of coming back to my apartment in New York, starting to, hello, Yolanda. Yolanda is in our Friday group. Speaking of, really quickly, Friday group still has a couple, three spots open if you want to study with a small group. You can go to my bio and you can sign up because it's going to be great. We start on Friday. All right. Hi, Dahlia. All right. So I'm going through a lot of changes, and so this has made me really have to, reconsider and contemplate and look at the changes that I'm going through and what's going on. Is the sound here? Did I turn it off when I touched it? Which happens sometimes. Can you let me know? My lips are red. I'm okay. Thank you, Carmen. Okay. All right. Good. All right. So here we go. So I'm going through a lot of changes, which means I have to go inside and look at what's going on and look at what's happening to my psychology, right? So we're going to talk about changes and we're going to talk about dealing with changes in our lives. We're always going through changes, of course. Change is the one thing we can depend on in our life, right? And so we want to look at it from a Course in Miracles point of view because Wednesday nights, we're going to get back on our schedule. Don't worry. We'll still do Monday. Oh, time wise, we're doing something different. We're doing 7 o'clock Eastern now, which is 4 o'clock Pacific. Mondays and Wednesdays. Wednesdays always Course in Miracles. Let me get back. Okay. So they say that there's three major changes in our life that are the most disruptive or the hardest, and the first one is death. Second one is new job. Third one is moving. Right, and that's definitely Western. That's definitely Western culture. But most of us are living in Western culture, so we want to look at how we deal with changes. Now, what I was saying earlier is that psychologically, we can definitely look at how our psychology is working. And the Course in Miracles always looks at our psychology first, because our psychology is kind of the gateway into our spirituality, if that makes sense. Hello, everyone. Now, we want to look at what the Course in Miracles teaches us about change, right? And I've got a couple of different things written down here. We're not going to work on one specific thing, but I've gotten a couple of different things that are all over the Course in Miracles, right? So when you're going through change, you've got two options, really. I mean, you got two options always in your life, right? You can either be going into change full of fear, full of anxiety, full of anticipation in a negative way, right? Or you can go through change with ease, with flow, with grace, right? So you have those options. What are you going to do here? Um, you're either going to be, and this all comes back to all comes back to what we are doing with time, right? What we are doing with time in our psychology. What we are doing with time in our psychology is the most important thing. So, one of, now, let me just give you an example. I'm coming back to New York in order to move forward. And I realized probably about 3 weeks ago, that my psychology was starting to project my past impressions, um, my past beliefs about New York, my past experiences about New York. I was projecting them onto this upcoming future, right? And so things like this. Well, it's harder to live in New York. Oh, well, you know what? It's going to be tougher. It's going to be harder. It's going to be this and this and this. And I had, through meditation, I had the realization that that's what I was doing. And I was projecting all of this stuff onto the future. So one of the references in the Course in Miracles, he says, listen, the past is over, it can touch me not. This is really important for us when we're going through change, to remember this, to remind ourselves. What your experiences were in the past is not what your future has to be, unless you decide that that's the truth, right? Unless you keep that vibration, and remember, the Course in Miracles completely dovetails with law of attraction, in that you see what you get what you invite, and it will come to you exactly as you sent for it. That's a direct quote from the Course. So I had to go, hold on. This is my ego. The only part of us that wants to project our past negative things, of course, negative things, onto our future is our egoic mind. And remember, the egoic mind has an edict. And the egoic mind, which we all have, says, says, keep trying but never succeed. Keep pushing but never get there. You will never, ever, ever be satisfied. No matter what happens, you're never good enough. You're not spiritual enough. You're not smart enough. You're not sexy enough. You're not thin enough. All of that stuff. But you can keep trying to be sexy. You can keep trying to be smart. You can keep trying. It just froze and stopped. Can you let me know if I'm got back? We're back. We are back. Okay. It just froze. It completely froze. Okay. I'm not back yet. Am I not back? Or am I back? And I was on a roll too. I was on a roll. Hi, Florida girl. Okay. All right. Good. Take a deep breath again. Hopefully come back in. Okay. Here we go. So I'm not gonna I was gonna say something about. Okay. The past is over, it can touch me not. The past is over, it can touch me not. The only thing that's bringing your past into your present is your egoic mind. That's the first thing you have to understand, because you will keep repeating, because the ego does not want you to succeed. Other parts of the Course, it would say the ego wants to kill you, and that's the truth. It wants to kill you insofar as to say it wants to keep you from discovering your light and really being connected with the light within, that is within all of us, right? He also says the past and the future do not exist, right? So all of your projections about the future, it's going to be like this, it could be like this, good or bad, good or bad. All of that is keeping you in the construct of time. And when you live in the construct of time, you will suffer. And when you live in the construct of time, you never allow yourself to live in what the Course would say is the holy instant. Take a deep breath. I'm going to come back to the holy instant. But a direct quote from the Course, he says, you are asked to let go of the future and place it into the hands of God. You're asked to let go of the future and place it in the hands of God. And the only way that you can do that is by letting go of the past, letting go of the future, and being where? In the present moment. This moment when you and I are talking, this moment that you're watching me, even on the replay, this moment right now that we are connecting is the only thing there is. And this moment is filled with love, with joy, with potential, with grace, with God. And the more you can sink into this moment, the more you see, experience, and perceive the past as not even real. The more you sink into this moment, the holy instant, the more you see that your ideas about the future, your projections about the future are not even real. All you got is right now. So when it comes to dealing with change in your life, hold on one moment. When it comes to dealing with change in your life, remember, the egoic mind is wanting you to not change, to not find your flow, to not be in your peace. And the only way to circumvent that is to come back to the present moment. Because right now, everything is fine. Everything is exactly fine. Take a deep breath. Hold on. Are memories part of the ego? No, not really. What you do with the memories is part of the ego. Does that make sense, Elaine? What you do with the memory is part of the ego. Because listen, the way you're remembering anything is not the way it was. It's not the way it was because you're living in the world of perception. The world of perception would say, I see it this way and Jane sees it this way. My mother thought she was a great mother and you thought she was effed up. What you do with that memory, first of all, you have to say, I'm wrong. I don't even know what the truth was about what happened to me when I was a kid. Right? And the exact same thing about what could happen in the future, about what could happen tomorrow, about what could happen. All of those notions have to be let go. So, take myself again for an example. I have had to, this is a big change, but life's a big change. I've had to come back to the moment, be in my joy, be in my flow, be with God right now. and you create the image. And when you create the image, this comes back to if you're doing the lessons. If you're doing the lessons, the very beginning of the lessons are all about this, right? All about this. I'm giving everything the meaning it has for me. You've heard me refer to that lesson 5 million times because it's so important that we get the meaning we're giving to everything. And so let's just take change. You could give a meaning to change that it's the most exciting, incredible, grace filled, flowing adventure. Or you could give a meaning of, I'm going to lose everything that I thought I was. I'm really scared of what's going to happen to me. I could fail. All of those are meanings you are giving to change. Do you get it? So as we go through life and we have these changes, you have changes every day. Some are big, some are not so big. Doesn't matter. But as you are allowing yourself to come back to this moment, then you will have peace. And if you have peace, you're much more likely to have everything work out. It always is working out. Let me just take that back. But you're in the higher, I don't like using that word, but the the pure vibration of flow, grace, and love. I'm going need, learn, not always be helpful. Yes. Listen, if you're listening to this right now, you can apply it to your life. Can you apply this to your life, everyone? Just give me a thumbs up or a yes, or can you apply it to what's going on in your life right now? I only dwell on good memories, says Elaine. It's those that keeps me in the past, ego. No. What you're doing with those memories is the most important thing. Is the ego controlling those memories? Then, and if it's not, it's fine. It's okay. It's all good. All good. So we really want to look from the Course in Miracles. One more line I want to say before we wrap up. In the Christmas section of A Course, which we just passed, he says there is a new year coming and there is much to do, for we have waited too long, which is which is really great. But he says, please make this year all the same. And what that means is move away from the fluctuations of duality. Move away from the ups and downs of duality. Good, bad, ugly, pretty, fat, thin, devil, angel. So make this year a blessing by making it all the same. That every day is exactly the same. Every moment is exactly the same. And I'm not talking about circumstances on the outside. Of course, those are going to change. But if you are steadfast in your connection with God, source, love, then it doesn't matter what's changing. You are here. No balance. No balance. Balance is this is my take on it. Balance is impossible because we're always trying to be balanced with the world, and the world of illusion is duality, and duality is never really balanced. It's always 51, 49, 30, 70, 20, 80, right? But balance from the place, Elaine and everyone, that you are connected no matter what. You have that sense of being at one with God no matter what. No matter what, right? That's how you navigate changes in this world. Because remember, the Course in Miracles has one goal and one goal only, and that is peace. And that is peace. So, if you can connect with, attain, and come back to the peace that's living with you right now, you got it. You're okay. And then you look back and go, "What the hell was I so worried about? How ridiculous that I'm bringing the past into the present, or all prescribing the future with fear, with anxiety, with anticipation and sanity." You just look at it and go, "Oh, so stupid." No, so not stupid, but it's just so it's so asleep. So think about this week, everyone. When you're going through change and you're finding it difficult, there's no reason to not feel it's difficult. That's okay. But realize that your subconscious mind is trying to pull you out of the peace that is right here, right now. Okay, take a deep breath. Okay, I'm going to open up to comments or questions about what we just talked about. I'm just going to take some of those. We'll wrap up. And like I said, we've got a couple of spots open for our Friday afternoon Course in Miracles group. If you would like to join us, you can go to attractpositiveresults.com for that. You're welcome, Julie. Anyone want to comment or say something that they learned today? The future is scary and causes anxiety since it's unknown. Yeah, to stop going there, right, Marilyn? Well, I'm just a reflection of you, Elaine. So we need to keep perspective of the overall objective, which is peace. That's right. It all comes back to peace. What is going to keep you in peace? It's kind of like he doesn't say this, but I'll use it. When you want only peace, you will see only peace. When you want only love, you will see only love. When that's the most important thing, you will see it everywhere. You will experience it, you will attract it everywhere in your life. Right, Casey. Stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. I'm not going to, I listen, because we're talking about change. I was going to do a little caveat, but let's just stay here right now. Live in the moment. Stop helping, let them fall with him. Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna, in kind of wrapping up, and then we'll say a prayer. I'm gonna say this line that I just love. You are asked, hold on, let's see what Yolanda says. Staying in the moment is helpful because it stops your mind from bouncing back and forth. That's right. Also, are you meditating? Okay, let me just read this again. You are asked to let go of the future and place it in the hands of God. It sounds so simple, but when you really do that, things tend to work out and you have peace. All right, take a deep breath and let's pray. Thank you so much for this time together. Thank you so much for all your love and for this teaching to remember and to remind us that the past is over. It can touch us not. And that when we're going through any kind of changes, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to have anxiety. It's okay. But realize that very easily, if we come back to the present moment and allow ourselves to stay there and put the future in the hands of God and even the past in the hands of God, source, love, grace, you have peace. So, dear God, we ask that when we walk into this world, we are more aware of letting go of our plan. We're more aware of trying to change all the changes that we're going through. Dear God, we ask that we accept change, we face change, we embrace change, and knowing that no matter how big the change might be, that we never lose ourselves. We can never lose ourselves because we're all sitting in the palm of the divine. And we take a big deep breath. And together we say, thank you very much. And so it is. Okay. Oh, that was quick. You said that even before I start, before I finished. All right, everybody. Anyone want to ask me or say anything before we go? Okay. Yolanda and Elaine are in our Friday group, which is great. And Lori. Wow. And Lori. Who else? A couple of Andrea's not here. And someone else. Good. You're welcome. All right, everybody. I will be on Periscope tomorrow. And wow, great. All right. Good. Love you so much. Yeah, you listen. You can register for the group later. Oh, Marilyn. That's right. Oh no, Marilyn. What do you? Oh, Marilyn's doing. Okay. Anyway, you're welcome. All good. Hugs all around. I love you so much. Remember, tonight could be the best night of your life, and I'll talk to you really soon. I'll see you on Periscope tomorrow. Okay. Bye.